Ah, hello, Panic, the Mindcrack server. It worked. We got Magma Boys. It happened. Eat him! Eat him! Eat him! Eat his ass! No! No! Eat! Eat! Eat the magma cube! You can do it! It's nothing to do with him being on a lead. That would be stupid. Yeah! Except my inventory's full. Yeah! Get over here. Honestly, I've only been AFK for like half hour-ish. Needs this much bass out. No one. Nice. Good stuff. Okay, how's everybody doing? Well, I hope. You know, we're going to talk about politics again because, I mean, sports are kind of over. We talked a bit about, hell yeah. Thank you for your service. Talked a little bit about the craziness, the Copa America, which was held in the United States. I mean, the Copa America in 2016 actually went to a Brazil game in Copa America 2016 in Orlando. Happened to be there. And that tournament was run by U.S. Soccer, and there were absolutely no issues. We saw Brazil shit all over Haiti in that game. At Camping World Stadium, the old Citrus Bowl, which is a shithole. And we always laugh when it keeps getting big sporting events. For the sole reason that it's located in Orlando, and there's no reason for them to change it, obviously, because they keep getting big sporting events. But this time, tournament was in the United States, and that one was a special one because it was the 100th anniversary to Copa America. Like, they had the normal Copa America at Chile in 2015, and then they had it just a year later. Normally, these are every 4 years. So, yeah. Sorry, Beckerson posted something really funny. And it was run by U.S. Soccer. This tournament was run by CONMEBOL, and it was a complete disaster. I mean, some of that's on the fans, which seem to be more Colombian fans. Sorry, J-Dub. Argentinian fans. Argentina's going to get hit here soon. But, I mean, they just surrounded the stadium and basically were like, we will get crushed to death, and you'll force us to let us enter the stadium to avoid getting crushed to death, even though we didn't get tickets. Like, there are videos of people trying to climb into air vents to get into the stadium. Just insane behavior. Insane behavior. Behavior that cannot be condoned. But then Argentina won. You know, I kind of like Argentina. You know, Colombia doesn't win anything, really. So it would have been cooler, in my opinion, to see Colombia take it home. But it was a good game. Again, it went to extra time, unlike the Euro final. The Euro final is technically much better, but the Copa America final is just chaos. That's fine. Oh, and then after the game, a bunch of Argentinian players were singing a song about France that they beat in the World Cup final 2 years ago, singing that all their players aren't French. They're because a lot of them are black, so they're not really French. Yeah, everybody loves a good old racist song about a country you didn't even play to sing right afterwards. And some people in the Argentina song were teammates with, I believe, a black French player on Chelsea, who is understandably not happy about that. Because I guess in Argentina, we believe in racial purity or whatever. So I guess our Argentina Not beating the allegations. Not beating the allegations, Argentina. So you had your chance. You had your chance to show things were different now. But, guess not. Guess not. Okay, we really just need... If we're going to fight the Wither, which we are, you just need, I think, 3 regen pots. So let's see if we can rustle up one more gas tier and then fight the Wither, and that could be our episode tonight. So we'll do that. So after we talked, recorded episode Sunday night in the wake of, the Trump assassination attempt, which is still an utterly just bonkers thing that happened. Like, crazy. That was a real thing. But after that, we had another massive American tragedy. God, this guy's gonna shoot at me from fuck you range. Fuck! Oh my god. God, I hate those guys. God, I hate those guys. And I got rid of all my blocks like a smart man. Ow. Gas do spawn more frequently in Soul Sand Valleys. Another massive tragedy befell the United States of America. The national anthem at the Home Run Derby. Now, thankfully, I'm recording this after the full truth has come out, so I don't look like a complete D-bag. But the national anthem was sung by, I've got to get her name right here, an important figure. Well, speaking of this, one last thing in the soccer, Gareth Southgate, England's manager, who has had great results for England, despite England not feeling like they're the best, he stepped down as their manager, which is honestly a very courageous thing to do, to know when your time is up, even when you've been successful. I can't think of any other major figures in the world who I think could heed that advice to look back and acknowledge their successes and that it's time for a new voice to take over, and it would show a lot of courage and humility. I don't know. Maybe there's probably somebody out there that could take Gareth Southgate's example. But back to the Home Run Derby. This was sung by Ingrid Andress, four-time Grammy-nominated country singer, Ingrid Andress, who grew up right here in Colorado. And if you would have asked me where in Colorado Ingrid Andress grew up in, I would have said probably Highlands Ranch. And you're correct. So, oh come on. Don't go up there. Bitch. Yeah, I need to kill you with the looting sword. There we go. Only one gas tier, but that's all we need, baby. So, cool. What could go wrong? None of my armor has protection on it, but it's not really the problem with the Wither, Yeah, she's saying a national anthem that could only be described as bad. Very, very bad. So bad that it truly united the country. They thought you know, the RNC, they're like, it's time for unity. And in the face of national tragedy, America did unite. And we united behind how bad her national anthem was. Her dad actually apparently strength and conditioning coach on the Rockies early 2000s and retired like the year after we went to the World Series. So that's cool. Anyway, I just want to say, really good for her. She said today that she was completely drunk and has checked herself into rehab. So, truly wishing all the best for Ingrid Andress, who is not a 15th century Norwegian princess. She is a country singer here from Denver. Wish her the best. Addiction kills. Lucky enough, I've not had to deal with that in my life, but it takes a big person to seek help, and, you know, it's easy for me to talk a big game and say I definitely would, but, you know, easy to talk a big game. So, genuinely good for her. We stand. We support. Godspeed. So that was the American tragedy. I know, interesting, right? You thought it would be something crazier, but it wasn't. Yeah, this strength 2 pot would be helpful. The first time I fought a wither in a Mindcrack server, I forgot to turn on the recording, so it can't go worse than that. I ate an enchanted golden apple and everything. It was sick as fuck. I was shattered. I've had some issues with like the audio not being on, but thankfully I've never done that one again. Can I just make a glass bottle out of any stained glass? Feels like that's a thing that should exist. Or a potion I should just drink. I'll just drink this night vision potion. Yay. Okay, so you're like, Gardax, you're my favorite politics channel now. Talking politics. You won't see those cowards in Hermitcraft talking politics. Maybe one of the... I couldn't tell you half the people in Hermitcraft. So, maybe some of them do. I don't know. Only the Mindcrack server, where people get a full 10 views now, if they're lucky, talk politics. But, you know, Trump selected his running mate, who I think is emblematic of everything that's broken in American conservatism. So, first, I don't have proof of part of this, but he is an adult convert to Catholicism. Okay? And that, combined with him being a conservative fuckface, brings a very interesting set of circumstances. I'm not saying that all adult converts to Catholicism are conservative fuckfaces. That's not true. I actually think Catholics in America are like half Democrat, half Republican, although white Catholics probably like 2/3 Republican, maybe a little more. Hispanics doing a lot of work there for the Democrats. We don't deserve you. Because I think there's an instinct with a lot of conservatives. That's why you see a lot of conservatives also like love the Latin Mass, which I wasn't able to find any proof that, hey, this also did that. Does it need to be waxed? This also did that. Yeah, if some psychos watching audio only, they're shocked right now. Unfortunately, it does. Do we have more honey? Yeah, get his ass. That's why I pay you. slowly, people, slowly on the copper. This is a rough tab. I was doing stuff with the snurch, but okay, I think we're gonna do just one regen 2 and 2 long boys. So, no, yeah, JD Vance, who is this guy. The reason I think it's because conservatives all want to feel like they're connecting to some ancient higher power that gives them purpose and is a justification for their shittiness. They're like, well, I mean, I'm a racist, but if God was racist, or I go to the Latin, or they like the Latin Mass because they feel it's the most pure. They feel like it's connecting them to God somehow, or they're tapping to the ancient tradition. They're all about. They're just all about that. But the question is, you look at JD Vance, and there's a good. I just watched the Jon Stewart Daily Show here, and Joe Biden interview with Lester Holt, where he's like, "Well, are you gonna turn down the rhetoric and stop saying shit like Trump's the threat to democracy?" And Biden's like, "Yeah, I'm obviously glad he's alive, but a chicken jockey over there." But, I mean, have you heard some of the shit he said? Like, I'm not just gonna suddenly start acting like he's, like, such a nice guy. That's just blatantly untrue. So, and he's right. It is. Man, look, Gardax's channel. This is the only place you can fight a wither and talk about JD Vance. I actually think most normal people don't know who JD Vance is. He wrote this. He grew up in like a tiny town, Ohio, and wrote a book called Hillbilly Elegy about how rural towns are dying and all this shit. And they made it to a movie to try and get Amy Adams and Glenn Close Oscars because they're both people who could definitely have Oscars by now, and it didn't work. And it just made JD Vance more famous. And JD Vance decided to go from like a never Trumper to a caper. Like, look, JD Vance said straight up, as vice president, remember, all the Republicans were saying Mike Pence cannot certify the election because we think Trump's the real winner, even though other than some truly crazies like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, I think most people are well aware that Trump was the rightful loser of the election. Trump didn't win. I feel pretty confident most of them know that. But they just don't care. They just want to keep power as long as they can, just because they like being in power and have tax cuts and it's intoxicating and they're assholes. And it's worrying to see. And JD Vance said that he would not have certified the 2020 election, and that makes him an incredibly dangerous threat to democracy. So there you have it. I know, fun stuff with Gardax. I mean, would it be all bad? But we essentially become China, and China's trying to convince people, the world, that that their way is the best way. And China's a pretty successful country. Probably the average life for a person in China is fine. Not terrible. But they're not really free. And obviously, if you're a minority, like the Uyghurs, and somebody that they really don't like, Muslims or anything like that, if you're not or it would be in the US if you're not white, you're a lot less free. I mean, for my white ass, it's only my empathy that's making the difference here. So, and why? The Chinese government have any particular ideology? No, they just like being in charge. Just like being in charge. And you know what I like being in charge of? Fighting the Wither. Now, I'm no expert. Kind of think something was supposed to happen there. I mean, it can't be soil. It's never been. I mean, soil's like new. It's the grasses. Okay, it was the grasses. Yep, yep, yep. I'm well prepared for this. It's fine. Oh god, I'm about to die. Not good. Not at all good. Not at all good. Wow. This is bad. Everybody knew this was going to happen. Part of me kind of thought this might happen, but wanted to do it anyway. Well, let's at least get our stuff back and what we can, and then think about what we've done. Where'd he go? Everything's fine. Is he massacring the village? This seems... like a natural place I never noticed before. Where'd he go? Huh. What a disappearing act. I need to do some who you gonna call Wither Busters, because yikes. Yikes. Generally, where is this guy? Where is this guy? We have potential contact. Run! Oh, wait. No. Okay. We'll get that later. Okay. Yeah. 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 What is the best thing? Oh god. Well, we got our stuff mostly closer. Hey, villagers, it's fine. It's good. We're real good here. We got within sight of the village. This is really the only way this was ever going to happen, wasn't it? Wither versus the regen is so much worse. I could have ever guessed. Yeah, stay over there, please. Oh, jeez. Okay, it doesn't know. Let's get our shit real fast. No creeper. No blowing this shit up, please. Look. Really not in the mood for you clowns today, okay? Alright. Wither, it's fine. Next episode, collab. Collab! collab. I pointed at the computer screen like collab. We'll put a team together, shall we say? Put a team together. Kill the Wither. Man, I didn't think it was that bad. Especially with the armor that I did have. I mean, that regen, really, the Enchanted Apple and the Resistance. Man, not good. He's fine. You know, he's off. He's off. He's finding himself. Isn't that what we all want to do? Find ourselves? There's no invading Wither Marauder. That does not exist. It's fine. The healing arrows were a good idea, though. They were kind of cooking. Man. Yeah, we just need a whole bunch of boys. Okay. Alright. Kinda hoped we'd kill it. Oh, Lord. Yeah, this Turtle Master is what I want. Let's see. It says Fire Red Lily's offline. It's not urgent enough for me to ping her now. I feel like a Fire Red Lily Sakana potentially. I don't know if Sakana has Wither fighting gear. I mean, I could have tried to cheese it. That's not what we do here, you know? It's not what we do. I don't even have 4 levels because I've died. There's so few items left. I have suspicious stews, but from Comp's thing, but the game wouldn't actually give them to me. Man. A lot of people just show up with a lot of regen potions. Wizard Squad. It's been too long since I've done a collab. It was just all a ruse to do a collab. You rubes understand. That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to collab. Collaboration. Okay, but anyway, I just want to read you this little article that I thought was great about, sums up a lot about Trump and the MAGA agenda. Let's see here. It's called Opioid of the Masses. Subtitle, to many, Donald Trump feels good, but he can't fix America's growing social and cultural crisis. The eventual come down will be harsh. What Trump offers is an easy escape from the pain. To every complex problem, he promises a simple solution. He can bring jobs back simply by punishing offshoring companies into submission. As he told New Hampshire crowd, folks all too familiar with the opioid scourge, he can cure the addiction epidemic by building a Mexican wall and keeping the cartels out. He will spare the United States from humiliation and military defeat, like with me in the wither, with indiscriminate bombing. It doesn't matter that no credible military leader has endorsed his plan. He never offers details for how these plans will work because he can't. Trump's promises are the needle in America's collective vein. The great tragedy is that many of the problems Trump identifies are real. So many of the hurts he exploits demand serious thought and measured action. From governments, yes, but also from community leaders and individuals. And so long as people rely on that quick high, so long as wolves point their fingers at everyone but themselves, the nation delays the necessary reckoning. There is no self-reflection in the midst of a false euphoria. Trump is a cultural heroine. He makes some feel better for a bit, but he cannot fix what ails them, and one day they'll realize it. I'm not sure when or how that realization arrives. Maybe in a few months, maybe when Trump loses the election, maybe in a few years when supporters realize that even with the President Trump, their homes and families are still domestic war zones. Their newspapers' obituaries continue to fill with the names of people who died too soon, and their faith in the American dream continues to falter. But it will come, and when it does, I hope Americans cast their gaze those with the most power to address so many of these problems, each other. And then maybe the nation will trade the quick high of Make America Great Again for real medicine. I agree with everything in that article, and that article was written by J.D. Vance in 2016, who is now Trump's vice president. Because what J.D. Vance realized after writing that article is that that come down he described is still a long ways away, and I don't know if the people will ever take a hard, long look at each other, because playing the infinite blame game and just saying you will make America great again by, hurting every scapegoat you can think of in the book. But people never want to blame themselves for their problems. I mean, even I've had many things go wrong in my life, and you always like, well, but it was really just, and then you come around to it's like, no, at the end of the day, it was my fault. It's my fault. I blew it, and it can make me feel, temporary hit of heroin to say, it was my boss's fault, but no, it's not true. It's not true. At the end of the day, the fault was with me, and people don't like to admit the fault. It's how, people say, well, if we lose, blame the Democrats. And this is going, that's looking more and more obvious. But at some point, the American people have to take responsibility. You can't blame it on brains being poisoned by all these news organizations. It's this evil cabal of people that are, at some point, stand the fuck up. You're responsible for yourself, and there are people that make it harder for you to be responsible for yourself. You should discourage them. At the end of the day, it's the people, and if the people vote him back into office and we potentially go down this path of illiberalism and blaming scapegoats and all this stuff, I think J.D. Vance still believes everything he wrote in that article in 2016. I just think he feels that he can be part of the hit. It's easier to become an opioid manufacturer. And to that I say, you're a prick. Anyway, who knows? By the time this episode releases, maybe it's be some other crazy development. Anyway, everybody get ready. The Big Brother's back. Big Brother's back. Big Brother. The worst show on television. which I may just follow the coverage of because all the sports podcasts I follow are on hiatus, and because it's only baseball and MLS happening right now and all this stuff. But there is the Olympics here to save us. There's no other reality shows. It's the summer. It's the off season. There's Big Brother. Big Brother. And oh boy, can't wait to see how they fuck it up this time. Big Brother is genuinely ass. It's a bad show. It's only good for the fact that it's happening live. Compared to Survivor, which is superior in every way, but the one thing Big Brother has in it is it's happening live, and you can look at the cameras and watch these people live. But even then, Big Brother is saying, "Well, we're not going to let you rewind the live feeds anymore because we're scared that maybe somebody will say something accidentally a little racist, and we'll get in trouble, and we're going to make it harder for you to, expose that information." I don't think Survivor's exempt because it turns out this one guy everyone loved was a fan favorite. It was actually like a crazy racist cult man. Joe Anglin was what I'm talking about. So, yikes. But, yeah, Big Brother sucks. Like, the actual, the edited episodes are, just hot garbage. It's a shame because it has good potential, but it's always treated itself kind of like a joke. Unlike Survivor, which takes itself seriously, so yeah. Big Brother. And what's this whole thing with only one person can nominate the two people who get evicted? In Survivor, one person's immune because they found the immunity necklace, and maybe people play their idols, or maybe they don't play their idols and they get blindsided holding an idol, which happened to 4 people in a row in Survivor 46. But anybody's on the chopping block, and everybody has votes. There's none of this nonsense. If I ever went on Big Brother, I'd just be snarky as hell. There's this one woman who's apparently fans with the most famous racist from previous Big Brother season, and said she wants to be the first married mother to win Big Brother, which is a very weird thing to say. Very weird. And I don't know, if I'm ever there and they're doing your intro tapes, I'll say, I can't wait to be the third nerdy dark-haired guy with glasses to win Big Brother. There's just not enough of us dark-haired with glasses nerds out there in the world. Glad you brought another one back. And they keep bringing back undercover cops. And they brought back, Drew Basile from Jeopardy, who's looks like a fucking, Slender Man. And unfortunately for J-Luz, he has a girlfriend, probably just because he's, I don't know. He's very tall. That can be helpful for some reason. I don't quite get it, but it doesn't really bother me. People like what they like. What can you do? All right, well, next time we're going to do Who You Gonna Call? Wither Busters! Who you gonna call? Who you gonna call? Who you gonna call? And then it just becomes grinded out mode because, again, once we get these things, then it's really just the city and everything else, and then, it gets updated for 1.21, if it ever happens. I don't know. When is Comp coming back? Maybe Comp can be a Witherbuster. He's currently out in China, where he can tell us all about the current state of Chinese society, and everybody loving Comp because he's very tall. Fortunately for Comp, everybody in the Netherlands is very tall, so it probably doesn't help him much on, the ladies' front. Is this an Arcus subtweet? All right. That's the episode. Oh, I guess we got multiple items. It's actually productive, other than the fact that I loosed a wither onto society. 12:57. Okay, okay. But every time we're getting more and more stuff here. Uh, King Henry III orders the production of a 20 pence English coin of pure gold. Fortunately, the bullion value of the coin is about 20% higher than the nominal face value, leading to poor circulation as coins are melted down by individuals for their gold content. An early lesson in metallic currency. Very good. Izz al-Din Aibak, Mamluk Sultan of Egypt, on April 10th, is murdered on orders of his wife, Shajar al-Dur. He is succeeded by his 14-year-old son, Nur al-Din Ali, as ruler of the Mamluk Sultanate. Okay. The town of Krakow on June 5th is granted Magdeburg rights by High Duke Boleslav V the Chaste, having been rebuilt. What is Magdeburg rights? Set of town privileges regulate the degree of internal autonomy. Okay. Cool. And the Samalas eruption. Mount Samalas volcano erupts on Lombok Island, Indonesia. One of the largest volcanic eruptions in the past 10,000 years. It creates severe climatic changes across the globe, leading to severe famine and death, one of the biggest geopolitical changes across the globe over the next few centuries. What biggest geopolitical? Oh god, no, not the Indonesia wicked leader. Salamis. Pretty caldera, 800 odd years later. Social and historical consequences. Whole lot of social historical consequences. This is the content you get on Mindcrack for everything. Next time we're getting that wither. Alright. Good night! I was on one today. Jesus.